this idea of having this perspective shift, which kind of goes to your point about recognizing and responding, but it goes from this shifting of what we naturally sometimes want to do, say, what's wrong with that person? Why, so it's almost pathologizing, like what's wrong with them? But the trauma informed care perspective shift is, what happened to them? And then if you take that one step further, okay, how can I support you? And so I think just that mindset for teachers, for administrators, that's huge.
Oh, I like that. I like that.
And that's the true paradigm shift, because it's easy to point the finger, but it's even better as you point the finger to open your hands and figure out how you can embrace and open up and really get an understanding of who they are.
Can I go biblical for a minute?
Go, man.
Because I think I can use this in my sermon sometimes too, because too often times we look at sin and say what that person do instead of what happened to them. What happened to them was that sin impacted their lives.
Right.
And the temptation came their way. They fell to sin. Now, how can I as a pastor support you? Oh, I'm using this, Shem. Thank you very much. The perspective shift.
Yeah, and I think to add on to your point, I think you hear the old adage of hurt people, right? And oftentimes, particularly as even as you see it more in adults than you do in anybody, but when those traumas aren't addressed earlier on, this is why you see the outcomes you see as adults. So how can we address it at an earlier age, so that hurt, can become healed, and we can see it in a lot of the outcomes that we see. And we won't see it coming out in relationships. We won't see it coming out in the streets. We won't come and see it in all these places that we're starting to see so much of the hate and the anger start to come out based upon what's happened earlier in our lives.